Want to rise above what holds you back? These are the stories of those fighting that battle. It might also be the story of you. I'm Dan Waldschmidt, author of Edgy Conversations and strategist of billion-dollar companies all over the world. This is Mark Minard, author of The Story of You, the guy who knows a thing or two about never giving up. You're listening to Elevating Beyond. Let's get started.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Elevating Beyond with a two-word mission statement: change lives. And today I've been telling you I'm here with a one and only. This has been months, I'll even say years in the making, live in studio with Pierre Evans, author right here of They Counted Me Out, one man's journey from hopelessness and despair to living the American dream. Forward by Carlos C.J. Quinney Jr. Carlos, an amazing man, part of Eric Thomas's partner. They put together some of the best teams, inspired Pierre through the years. And before Pierre jumps on here, because we're going to hit on a lot of topics, Pierre's been on 2 shows, but it changes the game when you come here live in studio. Pierre flew here all the way from Arizona. We're doing a series of shows. We're going to be doing some live streaming. We're going to have some giveaways. He's speaking tomorrow to our whole company, Dream Shine, which is going to be amazing. But let me just give him a quick little version. We'll get into it, Pierre. For those of you that haven't seen his past shows when he was on Elevating Beyond, and you have to read his book to get in depth, but just to catch you up to speed, Pierre was homeless. So he went from dealing drugs around age 11, pretty sure you told me on the show, to being homeless, to being in and out of all the stuff, the gangs, the fighting, the everything. The odds against him, like his book says, they counted me out, the one that shouldn't be here right now, and shares his journey of how he has overcome what people would say, would be a statistic, like with the news, which we always watch, just joking, we don't watch the news, is here right now. And one more thing, Pierre, and I can't wait to hear you talk. I have to tell everyone, if you've all been noticing, we're here live in studio. We have the audio version and the video version. If you're listening to the audio, check out the video. The video has been blowing up on iTunes. We have it on YouTube. It's everywhere, Google Play. But both versions, like having the in studio hit us together, I'm not even accepting. I've had hundreds of people wanting to be guests, and those that aren't really coming here in studio, I'm not. It's way better, the chemistry. Pierre dove on it. He took opportunity months ago, got his ticket. He's here right now. That's one part of why he's successful. But Pierre, how are you doing, my man?
Man, I'm blessed. I'm blessed, man. I'm getting goosebumps just listening to the introduction and the things you're talking about. Man, it really, it touches me differently. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people like, man, why'd you stop smoking weed? And I'm just like, whoa, hold on. Like, out of everything to ask me, that's what it is, but I got the answer. I started to get high off of stuff like this. Just being able to have the invitations, being able to not only have the invitations, but to be able to act on it when it comes my way. And just being in a position to do that, I'm like, man, when I was smoking all the time, I can just imagine how many opportunities I was missing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I'm just blessed to be here.
Yeah, well, I mean, and there's so many levels to that, too. And you got to read in his book. We can listen to other shows, and we'll get into it throughout the episodes, too. But, I mean, beyond that, Pierre and I have been together today talking a lot of business. That's what I love about getting together with people. And something that a lot of you don't know, when we first connected, I think it was probably maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah, about now, yeah.
Wow. Okay. About 4 years ago, I remember Pierre and I connected It was shortly after Eric Thomas spoke to Dream Shine, which now Pierre is going to be speaking there. And he had his group, the BU fam, and I got to jump in there and meet everyone for a little while. Some great people. And, I have so much going on in my company. I was able to jump in, connect with some of the amazing people Eric Thomas is working with. And a few of them I'm still in touch with. One of them was Pierre. And another example of what Pierre did is he took time to reach out to me, and we had a long talk. He was he didn't have a business yet, but he knew that I had a business, and I could just tell he wasn't just trying to find like this quick solution. He would talk to me, and he was like wanting to learn, wanting to figure it out. And then I study people though. Like then I watch them. Are they continuing to do what I've told them to do? Because if he followed up with me 6 months later with the same questions, like, I need you to do what you already told me to do, that there's a point in time-wise. First of all, I tell people now that step one is to read my book, because that's my playbook. That's why I wrote it. It helps people. Cheaper than you can get a Domino's pizza for. You can get a book. But, then I see, and Pierre, you continue to not only apply it, and you were before we talked, to even get to the level of being in that group, but I've watched you over the years, and we've stayed in touch, and you've gone from not only being a published author, but you have taken the full leap to owning your business. Is it Re-Empower?
Re-Empower, yeah.
That's right. Re-Empower, and you're doing a combination of masterminds, coaching, so many other things. Speaking, paid speaker, all over the place. Schools, businesses, anywhere and everywhere. He's everywhere. Spoke with Eric Thomas at Michigan.
Yeah.
And today we're talking about stuff, and we got into a deep discussion about how Pierre's working on, he's investing in some other companies. I don't know if you can officially say what it is, and you don't need to, but you're now at another level, like learning how to invest, not just like stocks and bonds, but buying into some other companies, even putting formulating a tribe, like we were talking about the Warren Buffett style, which we can explain to everyone here. And now you're here, and like, if people ask, like, what does it take to be successful? Like, why? How do I get on your show? Like, it's not getting on the show that makes you successful or all that. It's what did you do to get here? Because Pierre's a good dude. I love him to death. But that's not enough to have. I've watched him continually take action for years and years and years. And I'm proud. Like, he said it's an honor to be here. I'm honored to have you here right now. And the discussions we're having. You've come so far. So to everyone listening, I know I'm saying a lot, but like, what would you say to start guiding them? We have a good combination of listeners here that already have started. Some are getting ready to. Then we have some established business owners, solopreneurs, some small business owners. How have you started to get to another level? And we'll talk about the book even more, but to where you're not only having a business, but starting to formulate a way to, you said, bring a group of people together, and you keep mentioning like Warren Buffett. Explain, what do you mean by like Warren Buffett?
So I want to really, when I explain that, I want to do it in a way where it ties into the way I came up, right? Because all the lessons that I used, everything that I used in the book, the 15 lessons in the book, it all comes from the life that I live, right? From the street life. So I want to be clear, because there's some people who are in some things right now that are trying to get out, but can't get out, don't know how to get started. They're trying to forget the garbage they went through and move on and leave everything behind. For me, I can't leave it behind, because that's my classroom. I grew up in that classroom, right? So you don't go pay for college and leave college and say, let me forget everything I learned in college and let me move on. So I put up a lot of time. I put my life on the line, my freedom on the line to learn a lot of information. So for me to leave the environment that I put a lot on the line to get, if I leave the information, it's useless now, right? So it's a waste of time. So when I'm talking about Buffett, when I look at Buffett, I'm not on the level of Buffett, right? Buffett's one of the richest dudes in the world. So,
but you're studying,
right? But I have to look at what was the difference when I was coming up in my environment. I studied the people that was getting. I studied the people who had the cars I wanted, who had the clothes, who had the big knots in their pocket. Who knows if that was all the money they had in the world? I don't know. Yeah. But I studied the ones who looked like they had what I wanted.
Yeah.
So when I look at Buffett, I said, okay, cool, I can't do what Buffett does right now, but let me just keep shrinking it down till it gets to something that's manageable for me. Let me take what he did and bring it down. The same way I looked at the dude that was in my neighborhood doing things, I looked at him and I said, okay, let me shrink down and see what's my starting point.
You talking back? I mean, we can be off. You talking back about the guy that was selling drugs, that was making money in your neighborhood?
Yeah, I'm talking about the people hustling in my neighborhood, the ones out there selling drugs, making money.
Dude, it all comes back. We're not saying to deal, but you're part of your history. That's the environment you were in.
It's the environment I grew up in. Yeah.
And so you study, and then you talk about it in your book. You got to a point to where you realize that wasn't the life you wanted. Because there can be some of the richest people in the world that are oil tycoons or presidents or something. We won't get into politics. And maybe their character doesn't align with the way you want other levels of your marriage to be and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
But you were seeing what did they do, and you learned that, and you just continued. I mean, at age 11.
10, I sold the first bag of weed. So I just be all the way transparent, right? Because I see Mark's like, hold on, you're going around the bush, but Jesse wants to give me tips.
It doesn't help to not, you know what I mean?
So I got it, right? So looking at the people, selling drugs in my neighborhood, I wanted to be that, right? I wanted to be what they was, but in order to do it, I had to shrink it down to a level that I can do and get started today. And most people are looking at people where they are, and they're like, oh my God, I can't do that. You can't do that. Not right now. Not today. But you have to shrink it all the way down. So I took Buffett, how he invests in companies, and I said, okay, let's shrink it down, Pierre, and put it to a point where you can do it. You might not be able to invest millions of dollars, but can you invest thousands? Can you invest hundreds, right? And start at that level. And because I have my character is in good standards, right? Me as a person, I'm in good standards with other people. I can pick up the phone and say, hey, this is my idea. This is what I'm thinking about doing. And because I've been carrying myself the way I should, people are like, whoa, I like the idea. Let's talk more. So now it's not just me investing. I'm able to build an investment group. So now we can put it up a few levels beyond what I can do by myself.
So, and going back off that point, okay, so some people listening right now are going to be thinking, yeah, Pierre, but you don't get it. I don't have the connections that you have. And they may even say, which we love this word, I'm not lucky like you to be connected with Eric Thomas, to be in the studio with Mark Minard. And what I know is what people don't understand is those connections didn't happen. What happened is by you continuing to go out of your comfort zone and keep doing, you continue to meet other people that are out of their comfort zone that are doing. But because some people's goal is, if I could just connect with this one person, if I could just get Warren Buffett to sit down, then I'll have all the But that's not the way it is, because we were talking, and I'm kind of bringing it back full circle to the lion, to let people know they start where they are, and it's okay if you don't have all the connections yet. Sometimes the connections are listening to a podcast, it's reading books, and then you start doing. And we were sharing the story of the lion before, And what we were talking about with that is now you have other people that have earned the respect, and so have you. And I was talking to you like our man T.D. Jakes. I listen to him a lot. He speaks. He has a lot of businesses. He's a preacher, but he has his group they call like the Round Table, and it's all these CEOs from around the world. It's like 7 of them, and he lets his son join in. Now his son's like 20 years old, and this makes me think of Pierre's story. And his son will sit in, he'll listen, and every once in a while his son will chime in with probably some pretty good ideas. And the group kind of is just like, yeah, okay, and they continue on with business. And so T.D. Jake said after the meeting, he's like, Dad, I worked so hard, I had my notes prepared, and I feel like when I bring stuff up, they don't respect me. And he looked at him and he said, Son, it's not that they don't respect you, it's that you haven't yet earned their respect. And he said, you see every person at this table, he's like, I'm bringing you in with honors as my son to listen. But you don't get to start talking and earn that respect, because every person here has crawled with their bare hands into the lion's den, fought a lion with their bare hands, almost got killed, beat it down, came in bloodied, bruised, came crawling up to that round table and slammed that lion down on the table. And they all have scars to prove it. And he said, until you go out and kill your own lion, we can't do it for you. Come in bloodied, bruised, and throw that lion down. Then they'll respect you. And that's what I'm saying is, that's what you've done. You've killed your lion. You've gone into the trenches of entrepreneurship. You've fought through hell to get to it. You've built something from your own blood, sweat, and tears. And all the other people that you've connected with and are connecting with have done the same. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, one of the things is you have to, you can't just get into one of these groups. You can't get into these relationships. You don't just say, like I didn't have the relationship. I paid $1,000 to go to a VIP session. First I paid $300 for tickets to go to the event. Then there was another event coming up, and it was a $1,000 VIP session. I paid $1,000 for the VIP session. When I paid the $1,000 for the VIP session, I had to get my room for the 2 nights, and not only get my room for the 2 nights, but I had to pay for my airfare, and I had to pay for the food. So the whole thing, and my rental car, probably paid about $1,500.
Yeah. For
the 2 days. And people said, Pierre, you're crazy. And I'm like, what do you mean I'm crazy? They're like, yeah, you're going to go, you can get on YouTube and you can watch the dude on YouTube. I said, it's not the same. I need to be in the presence.
But he can't talk back.
He can't talk back, but the thing was, whether I talk to him or I don't, I need the presence. I need to show my level of commitment.
Yeah.
If I'm willing to get all the free information, then what I'm saying is, I'm not ready to fully commit because I don't see value.
And the people that you meet there are other people that have invested the same investment you've made, which separates them from the people that only watch it on YouTube.
Yes.
And that is what starts to build those other relationships. It might not even be about who you pay to see. It's also about the people you connect with there that are out of their comfort zone, right?
Exactly. And this is why people got to stop being so obsessed with going to the free events. The free events put you around other misers, right? Put you around other people afraid to invest.
Yeah.
So not only did I go to the VIP session, but
and by the way, at most free events, they're just trying to upsell you.
They're trying to upsell you anyway, right? And then you don't want to crack your wallet open. So, from there I went to the next event. Then I went to the next event, the next event. And within that first year, I spent about $48,000 traveling.
Now people are going to say, that's insanity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some people are going to say, that's what? Like that's a more that could pay half of my house off maybe.
Yeah.
But how much does college cost for a 20-month college that you're looking in right now?
Oh my God, almost 82 grand just about.
And I'm not knocking college, but I'm also saying why is in this day and age, if you find the right thing to invest to, how is that's less than what you pay for college, and people think it's insanity, but you're learning from the people that have done beyond what the college professors are even teaching.
Yeah.
I've gone in, I don't have my MBA, but I've been hired to come and speak at MBA courses. I failed statistics. I didn't understand it in college. I hated it. But I went back, or microeconomics, macro, I didn't even know the difference. But they had me come back in. They had, and I was able to break it down to how I do my company, and teach it at that, from experience of doing it. I don't have my MBA, but I paid for a lot of stuff like you did from those that have done it.
And this, listen, I'm all for college, right? I'm all for it. My son's gonna go. My son's gonna go. He's gonna get what he needs, and he's gonna move on. But I just want you, like, if you don't have the money for college, or, you know, schooling's not you, and you have an idea on a craft, you have an idea that there's something you want to do, then you're supposed to go anywhere you have to go to get the information for it. So because I spent that money that first year and I was all over the place, I can pick up my phone now and I can call E, I can call CJ, and I can get my question answered. I can call other people that they coach that build successful programs. I have people now that call me. I just got 3 DMs between the airport and getting out here of people saying, "Hey P, I'm watching what you're doing. Can we set up a time to talk?" Listen, no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
first thing I ask, minimum, this is what I've learned to do. Go ahead.
So no, for me it's just, you know, are you in the program? Are you in my open community that I have, that it doesn't cost you anything? Are you in that? Because you might find your answer there, right? If
you've worked all these hours to create.
So if I'm up all night, I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning, and I'm on 2.5 hours sleep in the last 24 hours, and I'm going, and now I got to give it to you for free. You see what I mean? I got my kids I wasn't with, my wife I wasn't with.
Yeah.
And she's going to bed by herself. My kids is going to bed without seeing me. I'm away from my kids now for 2 days. So why would I give it to you? I'm not giving it. I need you to invest too.
Well, when your kids need money for dinner, are you going to say, well, I helped this person for free, so does that mean that you're not going to charge me for my electricity bill this month?
Yeah, right.
You got to. The thing is, look, we're all about. And by the way, Pierre's a giver, so it's like you do stuff, and he's gonna pour more into you above and beyond even what anything is. But if we spent all our time answering to everyone and everything, that's all you would do, and you'd be bankrupt, and then you couldn't help anyone. And the thing is, too, I got to where and this isn't out of arrogance. This is help. This is the real way to help people that are invested. Is the first question I'll ask people is, have you read my book, The Story of You? That's why I wrote it. It's cheaper than a Domino's pizza. I like Domino's, by the way. Mm-hmm. And if they're like, oh no, I want to, I'm like, get it. You know, oh, right now it's on sale for $11. Get it, read it, and after you read it, like you said, the question you're asking will probably be answered in there.
Yeah.
If you have more questions on it, follow up with me, and I'll do my best to follow up with you. And it's the same way. Like, that's why I made that. That's why I made a course. That's why we're doing. You want this podcast? We're not charging anyone anything.
Free.
We charge when we speak. Our fees, the coaching, and all that are so much for what we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. But we're doing this. It's like, have you listened to the podcast?
Listen, you can go to the podcast. You can go to the YouTube channel. You can go to the Facebook. You can go to the Instagram, and you get a lot of free information. That's where the free is. So you know, it's very simple.
But if you want to talk to them directly, you've got to invest more.
That's another level.
You got to invest more to get that. Because it's like it's that mutual type instead of like the parasitic where one's leeching off the other. They're investing in you, and you want them to be successful, so you're going to invest at another level. You're going to be more available to them, just like E and them were for you.
Listen, I stay up late and study. I wake up early and study so I can teach others.
Yeah.
So I have information to teach others. Because if I'm putting free content out, I got to get more content in because I got to be able to give you way more than what you're getting for free.
Yeah.
So it's very simple. If I said to you, Mark, give me $20, and then I'm going to give you $100 back in the next 30 days. $20 for $100, $80 profit. That's good money. So when I'm saying buy the book for $20, if you utilize the information, it'll make you well over $100.
Oh, well over.
So if people say, "Oh, I'm not going to invest in the book. I don't want to read," then why should someone invest in you?
It's coming out on Audible soon.
You see it? So it's just you just got to get to the point of your life where you say, I don't need you to invest in me right now. I want to invest in me.
Yeah.
And then by you seeing me invest in me, you see my growth, you're instantly, and I chime in on people all the time. I say, hey, I seen the video that you put up. If you do this, this, and this, you probably get a better result.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm going to do that. Why? Because I see you pushing.
Yeah. If you see people out, sometimes, exactly. If you're out there doing it, I'll watch people and see that. And just sometimes out of respect, I've written people and been like, I see what you're doing. I never thought I'd love to have you on my show.
Yeah.
They didn't even apply. It wasn't a famous, and I saw what they were doing, and I'm like, that inspires me.
Yeah, you just got to stop looking for rewards before the work is done.
Yeah.
And then they say, well, I did the work for a year, for 2 years, but, well, you just ain't get sweet enough in 2-3 years.
No.
Maybe you need 4 or 5.
Maybe
you gotta keep going. See, the thing is when I said I wanted to be a speaker, I'm not doing it saying I want something from you. I'm not doing it saying, you know what, I want to be the greatest in the world. I'm doing this and I'm saying I want to be better today than I was yesterday. I want to be better in this event than I was in the last event. And I'm competing with myself. And if I keep competing with myself, other people are competing with other people, and they're emotionally and physically getting hurt. See, I know I can beat me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know I can beat me. And if I do it long enough, I'll be competing with other people that I wasn't even thinking about. It just happened.